I read the titles for today's video. I'm pretty sure today I will get mad. Am I overreacting? My reply to my mom who wants to stop my leukemia treatment so my sister can afford university. I guess the mom prefers one kid to be educated, even if the other dies because of it. Hello, using a burner account because I don't want you guys seeing all my private posts and photos related to my situation. I have leukemia. It's been a few months since I started treatment and it's been rough, but I'm still fighting. I wish you all the strength for this fight, OP, from the bottom of my heart. Yesterday, my mom texted me basically saying she can afford both my treatment and my sister's future. My sister wants to go to Dartmouth. Then take out a loan like every other normal people and go there. Who do you think paid for my university I just finished? Me, not my parents. It was me. How could ever be one kid's education more important than the other's survival? What kind of mother is this? She even quoted a super f***ed up Bible verse about sacrifice and said that greater love is laying down one's life for someone else. Then she said I should be practical because my condition is worsening and that I should consider sacrificing myself for my sister's dreams. Your mother is a disgusting piece of and I hope after you recover from leukemia, you're never gonna talk to her ever again. Telling a sick person to sacrifice themselves for another's dream is mental. Quoting the Bible to justify it makes it worse. The mom, the sister's education, and everyone who's not there for you on your healing journey. I knew I'm gonna be so mad because I've been there, I done that. It's so hard. But to get comments like that should be a crime. Your mother should be closed away from society because she's insane. What really broke me was that she said, realistically, she's the one who will choose where the money goes. She also mentioned she talked to Jesus about it, and that's why she sent me the message. Imagine thinking that your child's health is negotiable. Oh, and she's also the one who's controlling the money. Perfect. Emotional and financial terror. Someone get this woman an exorcist. A few months ago, she had me sign a contract about financial stuff for medical security. To repay her when I got better. I low-key thought it was a joke at first, but realized no, it's not. It's f***ed up is what it is. She's always prioritized my sister, but this is unreal. Am I overreacting or this is as up as it feels? I'm sorry, your mother made you sign you a contract in case you recovered? Your mother is a loan shark with a Bible. Most parents think, how do I protect my child? This woman thought, how do I get reimbursed if she survives? OP uploaded the text messages to this post. Let's just read it, shall we? My love, I think it's very important to be rational and seriously consider what I brought up. John 15:13, greater love has no one than this. To lay down one's life for one's friends. This also applies to family, my love. Your sister desperately wants to go to Dartmouth. I cannot afford your treatment and her future. With the news we received, it's really time to be practical, my love. You need to take your time with this, but please understand that I'm not perfect and I'm not prioritizing her over you. It's just the reality that you're worsening and there's a high likelihood that continually draining our funds towards this end goal is a fool's errand because there is really nothing more to be done. Sacrificing her dreams is something you have to consider. I hope you come around and understand. Realistically, I'm the one who will choose, but it's vitally important you understand my reasoning. I would have rather told you this in person, but since you are not answering your phone or home, I spoke to Jesus instead, and he told me to write you this. You really think Jesus would pick on education over a human life? Isn't human life the most precious thing ever being created? What type of cult this woman is part of? I'm not super educated on religion, but this cannot be it. Here's OP's answer to this insane text. Is this why you had me update my life insurance policy? Is this why you've been pushing scheduling my follow-ups? I'm not gone. I have dreams. I have goals. I'm only 1 year older than Michaela. Why is she priority over me? I can still beat this. I just don't understand why you are all giving up. I've only been in treatment for a few months. I can win and I spend the rest of my life and paying you back like I promised and agreed to with the contract you had me sign. I just don't understand this. I'm not going to smile and say, okay, yeah, kill me for my sister. This is the most insane I've ever read in my life. The solution is not convincing the mother to be kinder. The solution is to remove her leverage. As long as she controls the money and the access to care, the manipulation won't stop. OP, if you live somewhere with public health care, the first step is to cutting your mother out completely from the medical process. Most people don't know this, but many hospitals offer charity care or payment plan not tied to family. You can also consider start a GoFundMe. Also, the contract is a huge red flag. Any contract that's signed under illness, pressure, or fear can be challenged, especially when it's your own parent. The answer isn't sacrificing yourself. It's cutting off the person who thinks your life is negotiable. OP, I really hope you are doing okay. You don't deserve any of this. And I really hope you find a way to get the treatment and the support you need. Am I the a-hole for getting annoyed at my sister-in-law dying of cancer, ruining my wedding? Jesus Christ, where are these people come from? I don't intend for the title to be so harsh sounding, but I don't know how else to put it. Oh boy. I'm marrying my partner Elise, who is from another country. Her sister Beth is dying from cancer. It is heartbreaking. She's a young mother and wife. Her diagnosis was about 4 years ago. When she was first diagnosed, she was given 1 to 2 years. That doesn't mean my boyfriend was given 5 to 15 years. He died less than 3.5 years later. Since we were in a different country as she, Beth, remained in her home country with her family after her sister Elise immigrated, we saved up some money and traveled to say goodbye to her. It was about the 1.5 year mark when we went to say goodbye, and we had gotten engaged soon beforehand. So we also went over to visit some of the family and asked them how long they needed to save to come across for our wedding. We, along with her other family members who had also immigrated, such as her father and brother, decided to put money together and support her to move her over to spend the rest of her life with us. That was about a year ago. I find it a little bit weird how this post was written. We went there, we said our goodbyes, and now we should be done with this. I just find it a little bit distasteful. I guess that's positive that they saved up so she can move and live the rest of her life with her family. But it kind of sounds like they assuming it's gonna be very short. Now, my partner and I are getting married in 2 weeks. All of her family are coming to visit. It's a big joyous occasion with lots of travel. We've forked out thousands to help her family get here. And they are all staying for a month or so to celebrate our wedding and spend time with us. 2 weeks ago, Beth got a bad diagnosis. They find lumps and they said she has about a year left to live. She, for obvious reasons, didn't handle this well and lashed out at us and our wedding, telling us not to talk about it around her. Okay, then don't talk about the wedding when she's there. It's not that hard. My partner has always kind of lived in her older sister's shadow, so she was really excited to be celebrated and made a fuss of for once. But Beth has told everyone about her diagnosis and has started saying, "This is the last time I will see most of you." She is probably right, except another miracle happens. Now, the focus is completely off my partner and our wedding, and it's absolutely about Beth. I feel heartless and heartbroken, but I'm frustrated by this. She has been going out of her way to make sure the people who are coming across, who have paid thousands for flights, not that it matters that much, are spending as much time with her as possible, as this is the last time she will see them. What the dude? She is dying. If I were you, I would let this go. You can have a smaller ceremony now. And then you can reschedule your wedding for a later point when you don't need to share the spotlight with a dying person. Now, this period of joy and celebration has an undeniable black cloud hang over it. And people very obviously have stopped making my partner feel special. On top of this, Beth has maintained her stance that we are not talking about our wedding around her. But the big issue is that Beth got married during COVID, so never got a father/daughter dance. She wants to have one at our wedding after my partner has a father/daughter dance with her own song, which, to be honest, sad as f. Oh no, sorry she's dying. Reschedule it if you cannot share it with her. I know it's messed up, but that's life. Sharing your wedding is still as not bad as dying young. I have said no because my partner wanted to say no but felt too guilty, so I had to be the bad guy. I also told my partner that if we are not to talk about our wedding around her sister, then I don't want her sister talking about her dying around us. Those two things are not the same, but okay. One can be rescheduled, the other is happening to everyone without our control. Knowing you're gonna die soon is f***ed up. The fact that your wedding is more important than her is insane. How selfish you can be. Now, I'm being called an well, if the shoe fits. I do absolutely feel like one. But I also feel like this is grossly unfair to ask us to brush our wedding under the carpet because of this. Am I the a-hole? There is no way in hell that I would ever be on your side. Why? Because I lost the love of my life to cancer. I'm not some random person on the internet who has zero clue about these circumstances. Dying young from cancer is the absolute worst thing I can ever imagine to happen to someone. The fact that you think that your wedding is more important than this is not just make you an it makes you look like a psychopath. The solution is to have a small ceremony now, give her everything she wants, and then do another wedding later on after she passed. Edit. Sorry, I just woke up and we'll go through the many comments as fast as I can. I really appreciate all the views and discussions. It's precisely why I came here. Genuinely thank you. Well, on the original post, OP was not the a-hole. But that's not gonna change my opinion because I went through this. So let's just keep reading, shall we? Relevant comments. First commenter, are you sure she has cancer again? She might not be truthful. OP, you're right, because everyone will be celebrating. And to be honest, I'd be furious, jaded, and distrusting. My father is a very distrusting man. He raised this exact same point and said he's not sure he believes that the diagnosis is as bad as she's saying it is. But we'll see in the worst possible way. Second commenter, if true and she was given a year to live, she could give her sister that one day and stay quiet. But no, she makes it about herself, her missed dance, her miss whatever, and ruins the day for you guys that way, assuming she's telling the truth. I get weird vibes. If I were you, I go to the courthouse/elope without telling anyone and cancel the celebration and have one way later. Telling me none of your loved ones had cancer without telling me. Since when a wedding is more important than a close family member's dying. I agree with the second part, elope and have a big wedding later on. But the first part pisses me the off. Are we really have zero empathy in the world nowadays? OP's answer, we considered this, my partner had a breakdown over it and said she wanted to do this. I asked her if she was sure, we had a conversation and she changed her mind. We've done too much, prepared too much, gotten too excited for the whole time together to just pull the plug. OP on what kind of cancer his sister-in-law has at the time, and it was a confirmed diagnosis from a doctor. OP, lymphoma stage 4, no, we only heard from her. Okay, but what type of person would lie about a diagnosis like this? Update. People asking for updates about my post a couple of weeks ago. The lead up to the wedding was a bit nightmarish. Sister-in-law tried to tell someone they couldn't come to the wedding because of something they said. They told sister-in-law she could only afford a really nice new car because she and her partner are staying with her dad and he's paying all her medical bills. We curbed that by changing our seating plan last minute, asking the person to come, and he still came thankfully. The plan was to go up to the town the wedding was in for a few, says for my wife to spend time with her family. We paid for her little brother and little cousin's accommodation because they couldn't afford it. Week of wedding, sister-in-law convinces little brother and cousin to only travel up for only the wedding, not to stay with family. Sister-in-law wasn't traveling up because of some vague and changing reason. And it's not like you guys wanted her to be there anyway. There was a fight on their family's side. It supposedly got resolved and sister-in-law got given the hard word. But then little cousin didn't come up with family and stayed home with sister-in-law. So I told my partner to directly pass this on to sister-in-law. I was in different accommodation for the lead up. If there is a medical event, I call and cover cost for an ambulance at the smallest hiccup. If she plays up, her husband will take her home immediately and without argument. Or myself and the other two ex-bouncer groomsmen will kick them out. If her family don't want this to happen, then they will get this sorted before I do because they disappointed me with their soft approach. And now they've all been warned. And then the day went off without a hitch. It was beautiful, perfect, happy, fun, and everything we wanted to be. No drama, no major issues, and my new wife loved every moment. She was spoiled and made to feel special. Thank you for all the suggestions and kind words. We assigned mother-in-law to sister-in-law for the day. There was almost a hiccup when sister-in-law's uncle reserved her brand new car into my ring bearer's car, and sister-in-law started firing up. But it was curbed. A beautiful day because of your guys' support, so truly thank you. At the end, you got your wedding the way you wanted. Congratulations. Relevant comments. First commenter, info, did sister-in-law and father-in-law dance? If so, what song? I personally didn't question it, but reading the other comments, I feel obligated to ask. Did you get confirmation that either diagnosis was real? OP's answer. They danced when the dance floor opened up to everyone, and they were happy with that. It was a happy song though. We have confirmation of the diagnosis, but not the severity. The cancer has returned though, but we are not sure how bad yet. I don't know, it's kinda giving you guys cannot wait her to die. Honestly, I'm just so jealous of your circumstances. I wish my boyfriend would be around, being annoying, but still alive. I'm just curious, would you behave the same way if someone else would be sick? Your partner or your mother? Would you treat them the same way how you treat your sister-in-law? She is not an entitled brat. She has cancer and she's dying. There are some situations in life when you have to be the bigger person. This is one of those. OP has so much more to say, so let's keep going. He wrote a separate post though because the wedding went down without hiccups. Am I the a-hole for completely cutting off my dying sister-in-law and telling her family not to contact me? I'm the same person who had the wedding dramas. While the wedding went off without a hitch, we had a major problem since. Feels like season 2 of a fridging soap opera. I'm sorry, this is a little long, but there's a lot of context. My sister-in-law is dying of cancer. Recently, my partner and I got married and sister-in-law made the whole process as difficult as possible. While we were visiting family the other day, I was relaxing on a couch which sits below a lounge in a lounge, so you couldn't see me from the dining room. I was there with wife and wife's family, but older sister-in-law didn't realize I had come with. My partner and her little sister, not the same sister-in-law, came into the dining area in tears and sat down next to their mom. Before they could say anything, older sister-in-law came in and talked to them with a venom I had never seen. She was shouting at them and talking to them like they were children, telling them to never dare to walk away from her during an argument. There was a viciousness at a level that I never tolerated being spoken to like from anyone. The argument happened because we had come to pick up the nephew, son of older sister-in-law, from school so that sister-in-law could rest. Older sister-in-law told her family it's a privilege for them to babysit her child, and that if they are going to try and help, then they need to do it how she asks, when she asks. She spoke to my wife like she was scum several levels below her. When I stood up and older sister-in-law saw me, she jumped with shock and then immediately stormed out of the room. I stood up and said, we are leaving. In the car, I said to my wife that if sister-in-law ever spoke to her like that again, there would be harsh, firm boundaries put in place. Later, we received a message from sister-in-law's husband saying we are being selfish and making the whole family visit about us and our wedding, which was what it was originally about when everyone planned to come. They were visiting for our wedding. Okay, but your wedding is over now. Are you expect everyone to jump around you and your wife for the next month because that was the original plan? I understand dealing with someone who's dying is hard. Believe me. I just feel like it would be way easier to let her do whatever. And then, after she's not gonna be around anymore, you can have all the attention on you again. The problem is that this has been happening for months, and I feel like an idiot because when my wife told me about it, she downplayed it. Sister-in-law's family all keep saying, she's dying, it's affecting her mind, or let's just move past it so we can enjoy the time we have left with her. And the family is completely right about that. Some people are becoming very bitter because they feel like they got a death sentence. There is a chance that the sickness is affecting your sister-in-law's brain, or she is just insanely angry. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. Sister-in-law's treatment of my wife has gotten worse and worse and worse. Sister-in-law keeps trying to convince people not to spend time with us while they are here. She exempts herself from family plans and then makes new plans excluding my wife. And tells people my wife is being greedy with others' company. Okay, and let her do it. You had your wedding. You can hang with family later on. It's not the end of the world if she has all the attention now. My wife came home yesterday in tears saying she had considered driving her car off a bridge because how much sister-in-law has broken her heart. Okay, dramatic much? If she's that awful, just take a step back. Your sister-in-law is jealous of your wife because her life is just starting and hers is ending. Even though it is ugly, I'm not blaming you feeling hurt, but it makes a lot of sense. My wife went to say goodbye to one of her uncles who was flying out, and sister-in-law apparently did the same thing as the day before, but worse, according to a couple of the witnessing family members. I had to hold her while she sobbed uncontrollably for 15 minutes, asking me why her sister was doing this to her when all she had done was try to love her. I'm not even gonna answer to that because obvious why she's doing this. You should know it too. You're an adult. This is the part that may make me an a-hole. I put a message into the group chat. I'm in with her immediate family saying, to cut a long story short, I will not talk to any of you until you start to hold sister-in-law accountable for her actions. Any promises of unifying our families was a lie until sister-in-law apologizes and shows she's going to cut the out. That my wife's unrelenting kindness is being exploited for weakness. That my wife is psychologically unsafe around her own family. That I swore in my vows to protect my wife. And that I have no interest in being a part of a family who treat each other like this. I don't want anyone to contact me unless it's to apologize to my partner and explain how things will be different moving forward. And not to add me into any group conversations. I blocked any form of contact access that sister-in-law had. My wife didn't want me to send a message because she didn't want to make things worse. I told her things were being made worse by her family's unwillingness to call out sister-in-law because she's dying. And my partner told me I can do what I feel I need to do, but her family will be upset with me. Well, duh. But still, I think it's the best if OP goes no contact with his wife's family. Now, they called a family meeting and I refused to go until my wife is apologized to. And the family outright promised to hold her sister accountable. Her family are very upset at me for saying what I said about our two families joining. And that I'm being harsh to sister-in-law who is dying. My own family think I'm being too harsh. Except my dad and older brother who think I'm making the right choice. Am I the a-hole? I mean, in my opinion, you are still the a-hole. I'm not saying sister-in-law's behavior is okay, but you have to understand the circumstances why she's behaving like that. And if you cannot do that, you are not better than her. Relevant comments. First commenter. Is it possible her cancer has spread to her brain? It can drastically alter a person's behavior. OP's answer. To be honest, yes, this is possible, which I struggle with greatly. Are you though? I also empathize with the fact that she is dying and her sister is just starting life, sister-in-law words. But I feel this ferocious protectiveness for my wife. And for me, it sounds like you lack empathy and you cannot comprehend how serious the situation for your sister-in-law is. She is acting demanding and entitled, but if the sickness is spread to her brain, she cannot even control that. If it's not, she's just angry that she's gonna die. Opis wrote another completely new post. Why not just let it go and go zero contact with the sister-in-law? What is this even about anymore? You just want to show that you're top of the food chain over a dying woman. I'm getting really tired of him, but I'm gonna read the last post he wrote. Would I be the a-hole for getting involved in the fights between my sister-in-law and her little sister and mother? So, your wife is not even part of this anymore. Why are you still in the middle? Why can't you just live your life and leave them be? Why couldn't you just stay away as you promised you would? This also serves as another update. I want to make it clear though that I'm not karma farming. I don't expect upvotes. But I genuinely need the sage advice this Reddit provides that has helped me navigate this incredibly complex issue. My sister-in-law is dying of cancer. I still really struggle with this whole situation because it is heartbreaking for her, her husband, and her son. Recently, she and I fell out big time over the treatment of my wife, who I felt the need to protect. Imagine how much he struggled when he's not the one who's sick, or not his wife is the one who's sick. I think the only thing what he's struggling with is that he wants all the attention on him and his wife. I'm wondering, what is the protocol? How's someone who's dying supposed to behave? Any chance he could make a seminar on that? I really would want to see it. To cut a long story short, there was a family meeting about all the fighting happening. My wife's parents are separated and she has a half-sister on her mom's side. But she doesn't see her like that. She's her sister, through and through. The father's side all had a meeting and they agreed to end the fighting and not tolerate sister-in-law's behavior. I was at the house when it happened, but not part of the meeting. I was there to make sure if I heard screaming and shouting, I would go and get my wife out of the situation. The sister-in-law came to me and apologized. She sobbed and begged for me to forgive her. I felt uncomfortable for sure, but she seemed genuine. Ever since, she has been incredibly kind, careful, and gentle with my wife. As far as I'm concerned, issue is currently settled. It may be flare up again in the future, but my wife got an apology and she's being treated better. Yay, so you won. Why are we still here? I was reflecting on the situation with her mother and little sister. I'll call her little sister-in-law. When I talked to them about it, they opened up that sister-in-law was treating her mom and little sister-in-law exactly how she had treated my wife. That she had stopped behaving like that to my wife, but hasn't stopped the behavior with little sister-in-law and mother-in-law. Apparently, when I'm not there, she still screams at them, gaslights them. She'll say she wasn't screaming at them. Or even outright say, no, I didn't say that about something she said word for word. And uses her son's relationship with them as a means of control. Oh my god, just stop. This has nothing to do with you anymore. She also demeans little sister-in-law big time, talking to her like a toddler, saying that little sister-in-law doesn't understand big feelings to her son, even though little sister-in-law is doing a PhD. Little sister-in-law and mother-in-law fly home in a couple of days and sister-in-law may never see them again. But it also means sister-in-law has been banking on the fact that they won't be able to confront her permanently because she doesn't have to live with them. Little sister-in-law and mother-in-law have tried meetings with sister-in-law, but it's not working because sister-in-law knows they will be leaving soon. Part of me says that this is no longer my issue. Just listen to that part of you. Part of me says that they are also my family and I should protect them. From whom? A dying woman? She's gonna be out of the picture soon. Just leave her alone. Let her be angry. Let her be venomous. Let her be whatever the she wants. And if you cannot handle that, just stay away. Part of me says I'll make the whole situation worse by getting involved. I also don't want to disempower mother-in-law and little sister-in-law. But at the same time, I can see the corner they are being put in. They have tried to stand up to her, but she cuts them off. But I also don't want to overstep. My wife is also conflicted as I am, and probably more worried about disturbing the fragile peace she finally has. Would I be the a-hole if I got involved and told sister-in-law her treatment of little sister-in-law and mother-in-law isn't okay and I won't accept it? Oh my god, who the do you think you are? You just married into this family. Shut the up, mind your own business, and stay away from sister-in-law. Like I said, you don't have to upvote me, but I would appreciate advice in the comments. Jesus Christ, this guy. I understand that he wanted to protect his wife. I understand that the sister-in-law behavior is very hard to deal with. But man, at this point he thinks he can do and dictate whatever the he wants. Keep the distance with your wife and let the rest of the family deal with their dying relative. This guy wrote 4 posts about his dying sister-in-law. He just made it very clear that he doesn't care or doesn't comprehend the situation. And after all of these words he used, you, my guy, still the in the story. I don't care what the sister-in-law did. She's dealing with her destiny as best as she can. What do you guys think? Am I wrong about this? I hope you guys enjoyed today's stories. If you did, please subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments. I reply them all and see you in the next one.